We're back with even more interesting facts about Tears of the Kingdom, and we've got quite the variety today. So if you still enjoy this series, you know what to do. Just let us know by hitting that like button. Let's go. Yeah. By now, most players have found that you can create handy ice blocks when using ice on a body of water. But what you might not know is that you can create ice long blocks as well. By using the ice emitter instead and sliding along the surface in a line, it will make for a longer ice blocks that can use to create larger things. The same rule applies to using hydrants on lava as well, to make longer stone slabs than normal. And yes, you can use water on lava to make slabs, but also ice works just as well. When up against a Lynel, most players think bombs, Gibdo bones, stuff for decent damage, or maybe even a puff shroom to sneakily get some free hits in. But one item might be more useful than you think: Muddle Buds. Muddling changes an enemy's attack pattern to be more aggressive and up close. And for Lynels, this means preventing them from pulling out their bow. This is huge because for players who battle Lynels often, they know once the bow comes out, you can't stun the Lynel anymore, which can be quite a headache. This can go even farther by being able to re-stun Lynels from behind for some reason, allowing Link to pummel Lynels into submission from behind over and over. If you look super closely, attaching certain types of materials to Link's shield will change the parry animation. Most blunt objects will keep the old animation, but fusing blades of any kind to Link's shield will make him parry his shield in a sideways cutting motion. Previously, we mentioned that Zora are fond of water. Well, Gorons aren't quite fond of fire, but of course aren't really fazed by it either, just annoyed. On a similar note, if you pour cold water on Gorons during a hot bath, they'll tell you to cut it out because it's too cold. When cooking up a meal, most players know from Breath of the Wild that dragon parts and star fragments guarantee different special types of critical cooking. A great way to make meals more powerful. But in Tears of the Kingdom, they added 2 secret ingredients that also guarantee critical cooking: golden apples for critical food meals, and Gibdo guts for critical elixirs. And yes, critical cooking during blood moons still works too. When fighting smaller constructs, some of their attacks can be hard to judge the timing on parries or flurry rushes. If you're having trouble, a key tell is to look them in the eye, as they'll light up red just as they're about to attack. This can really help you learn their attack patterns and retaliate accordingly. A couple subtle changes from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom is to rock Octorok armor, which before were basically completely invincible to any physical attack while hiding underground. Well, this time, any crushing attack will break it open, revealing the Octorok underneath. Another small change is the ability to catch boomerangs while mounted on Lynels, which in Breath of the Wild was impossible. And waterfalls got an upgrade as well, as smaller waterfalls in Breath of the Wild before were unclimbable. Now with the redesign, they're fully usable in Tears of the Kingdom. And you can even slightly steer while climbing up waterfalls too. At some points, you may have seen a waterfall pouring down from the Sky Islands. Each one is guaranteed to touch down during rainy weather, when the extra water helps it reach down to Hyrule. One combat upgrade from Breath of the Wild is with shock arrows. Everyone knows that shooting shock arrows at water or metal conducts electricity, but now any wet surface can be conducted. This is just a bonus in damp caves, where wet walls can be used to your advantage. Did you know that Aerocuda can be flurry rushed? And on top of that, just like Keys, they immediately die from being parried. Players may have found that smoke is affected by natural wind, pushing it in different directions. But another interaction is stronger gusts, which actually blow away the smoke entirely. On a similar subject, elemental like-likes throw barrages of damaging elemental orbs, but these, just like smoke, can be pushed around by wind. Any fan or gusty attack can dust away fire or ice version attacks. Korok puzzles with missing rocks often require Link to Ultra Hand or carry the rock to the puzzle. But Fuse is a much more efficient solution. Just attach the rock, then walk over to the puzzle. While it's not very economical, a quick and lazy way to get from point A to B is to summon a single steering stick and a rocket. The game will automatically place the stick on the rocket no matter the order. Then you can just Ultra Hand attach and mount it to be quickly on your way. Several select material attachments, such as Horriblin horns, stones, and many more can change weapons to be able to crush ores or rocks. But you'd be surprised that select Zonai parts can also have crushing abilities, also known as Shatter. This includes the Hoverstone, Stake, Stabilizer, Homing Cart, Hydrant, Stoves, and Rockets, but only when shot from a bow. This in certain situations can actually increase your damage significantly, such as against Talus and Brox, whose ore-based weak points take extra damage against crushing attacks such as this, compared to normal strikes or any other means. Now we've got a couple secrets after completing the Wind Temple coming up, so if you haven't beat that yet, spoiler warning ahead. When fighting Colgera, most players simply shoot the weak points. Well, once you get past the spiky exterior barrier, not only can you plunge attack the weak point, you can actually just dive head first, even through both layers of ice. It's actually so fragile that it even buckles under Link's weight just standing on it. Here's my hands down favorite detail about Tulin. After completing the Wind Temple and saving Rito Village, Teba passes down the original legendary Great Eagle bow down to his son Tulin. Thing is, this bow, unlike your copy, is extremely special. Besides having Revali's original scarf attached to the back of the bow, on the grip there are 2 feathers, one pink, one white. One feather from his mother Saki, and one feather from his father Teba. Also, when wearing the Va Meadow Divine Helm with the Vow of Tulin activated, the avatar will wear the Ancient Sage's helm to match. Try it out with each sage. Heads up now, we're gonna go into big final boss spoilers. In the very beginning of the game, Zelda is seen carrying around a torch, and drops it during Ganondorf's attack. Well, at the end game down Gloom's lair where she dropped it, the torch is still there, lying on the ground. In the very final showdown between Link and Ganondorf, Ganondorf often does multiple Gloom-based attacks that are difficult to block, and destroys Link's maximum hearts throughout the battle. Well, these can be reflected with the Master Sword, but not only that, the Master Sword beam works just as well to deflect Gloom. And if you acquired the Master Sword before the battle, Link will draw this iconic blade that's been powered up by Zelda's sacred power. Well, the thing is, with a glitch available from a previous patch, it's actually possible to bring the original Master Sword from before the power-up into the fight with Ganondorf as well. This blade is the real deal, since it also glows brightly in the presence of evil. The difference is, this sword is both canonically and gameplay-wise inferior, as it can't get the critical damage boost that Zelda's Master Sword gets. And unlike the powered-up Master Sword, which can shrug off Gloom easily, this original blade is unable to reflect Ganondorf's Gloom attacks. This is starting to look all too familiar. What was your favorite thing you learned this time? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, for more Tears of the Kingdom content, stay right here on GameSpot.